Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Coaching Corner. It is Tuesday, one of my favorite days of the week, because I get to come on here and talk about all things special education with you guys on the Coaching Corner. For those of you who are new to the Coaching Corner, I am Jamila, aka the IEP Coach. I am the founder and CEO of the IEP Coach LLC. We are an education company, and we specialize in supporting charter schools, special education leaders with their SPED teams so they can thrive in their roles and keep their schools out of litigation. Okay, that is a big thing about what we do at the IEP Coach. And we go live every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we talk about all things special education. Tonight's topic is SPED myths costing charter schools time and money. Ooh, this is gonna be good. So make sure you share out this live. Share out this live with as many people as possible. APs, teachers, principals, SPED leaders. You definitely want to, of charter schools, you definitely want to share this out. As you are coming in, please drop in the comments where you are tuning in from. And after we finish tonight's topic, we will have Q&A. We always have live Q&A, so make sure you hold on to your questions. And actually, you can drop them in the comments as they come to you. I don't want you to lose your questions. I know as we go through the live, they come to you. Just drop them in the comments. Someone on my team will make sure that I see it. All right. And please remember that we have our webinar coming up the end of this month, February 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is the 3 biggest IEP meeting mistakes and how to fix them. Listen, this is a free webinar. You work in a charter school, you work in a public school, you're a SPED leader, charter school SPED leader, and you need some support with your leading your IEP meetings, and you're sitting in on them and wondering why it's so stressful. Why is such a chore? Why is it so stressful? Come to this webinar to get some tips on how to make it not so stressful, okay? Because there are things you can do to make sure your IEP meetings run smoothly every single time. They should not be this stress enriched thing that you have to do, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and drop that link in the comments, and it's also in the show notes as well. So register for free, and also share this link out with someone who can benefit from attending our free webinar, the 3 biggest IEP meeting mistakes and how to fix them. You don't want to go through the rest of this year, the rest of 2026, having stressful IEP meetings. You got parents mad at you, you're stressed, you're tired, you're like, oh my God, like you're running around with your head cut off. You don't want to be operating like that, okay? So definitely register for this free webinar, and make sure you share out this live. Wa alaikum assalam. Just_jazz2. No, we don't. But if you have a question, we may be able to answer right here on the live for you, or you can send us a DM for some if you have a very complex situation. Alrighty, and also send us a DM because I can refer you to someone who can support you if you're looking for like one-to-one support. All right, so let's share out this live, and as I'm telling you to share it out, I'm sharing it out as well. Okay, we are going live on our Instagram, our YouTube, our LinkedIn, Facebook, and our TikTok page. Okay, so let's share out the live. Share out the live. Oh my gosh. I am so over this snow here in Philly. I want it to all melt away. Please. Lord have mercy. I do not. I'm so over this snow. I'm so over it. There's nowhere to park. It's like ice glaciers outside. You can't even park anywhere. Oh Lord. Okay. Hey, please. Okay, so let's share this out. Share. Here we go. We're going to share out this live. All right, there we go. Done. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right. Tonight's topic, SPED myths costing charter schools time and money. Let's jump right on into it. Okay. Oh, no, yes, I dropped. All right. So now, like I always say, this is not an attack on charter schools. Bringing awareness to the issue and talk about how can we solve this problem, okay? Because it's not that charter schools don't care and it's like, oh, we just got this school, we're just trying to just do whatever we're doing. Some people think, oh, we're just trying to get some money or whatever. That's not the case, you know, and that's not the reason why they're struggling, especially with special education. The reason a lot of charter schools struggle in special education is because they don't have proper systems in place, and they've been operating off of myths. Okay? They've been operating off these myths. Okay? And we're going to go through 4 myths that are costing charter schools time and money with their special education. All right? Let's get on in and let me know if like you knew this one. Like if you like, oh, I knew that. Let me know in the comments. So myth number 1, if the paperwork is compliant, then we are fine. You can still get sued if your paperwork is compliant. You can get sued if you're not implementing what that paperwork says. Okay? So if the paperwork is compliant, we're fine. That is a myth. No. Compliance also includes implementation. So be compliant with your paperwork and then also be compliant with your implementation. Okay? Because when you don't implement what that paperwork says, you have a risk of service gaps. Okay? And then you have your paper compliance versus reality compliance. Okay, you're compliant on paper but not in real life. No, you have to be compliant on paper and compliant with your practice and with the service that you are implementing at your schools. Implementing those services in that IEP. All right. Myth number 2. Your strong teachers will figure it out. Your strong teachers will figure it out. No, you still have to provide your teachers, whether they're strong, they're pretty good, they're starting out, they're new, they're veteran. You still need to provide training. You still need to provide refreshers of those trainings as well to make sure that they are getting the support they need and the coaching that they may need in their area of need. All your teachers are not going to have the same areas of need or the same level of support. That doesn't mean they don't need any at all. Okay? Strong teachers will figure it out. Effort is not equal to systems. Okay? Your leadership infrastructure matters. You have to train your people and train your teams so that way everyone knows what the protocols are. Everyone knows what the non-negotiables are. Everyone knows the chain of command. Everyone is aware of it. So everyone can become a strong team member. Okay? Everybody needs the support. Everyone needs the training. Everyone needs the coaching. Now, they may all need different levels of it. Okay, but you don't just say, oh, you're a strong teacher. Okay, I'm quite sure you can figure it out. No, that's not going to work. All right. Myth number 3. Special education is a place, not a service. That is the biggest myth. Special education, it is not a place. Special education is a service. Special education services can take place anywhere in the school. They can take place in the general education classroom. They can take place in the special education classroom. They can take place in the counselor's office. It is not a place. It's a service. Okay? Now, when people operate off of this myth that special education is a place, not a service, this impacts your placement decisions. Because you're thinking, well, it's a place. You have to have this. This is where that mindset of, oh, these are your kids. You need to take your kids, referring to students with IEPs. You need to take your kids and take them to your classroom because it's that mindset that special education is a place. It is not a place. It is a service. Services follow the student, not the room. Services follow the students with IEPs, not the room. Okay? Special education, it's a service. It is not a place. All right? And myth number 4. We can fix it later. I'm going to put a Band-Aid on it real quick. Oh my gosh. We can just fix this later. This is why so many charter schools are so reactive and not proactive. Because you postpone things. You throw a Band-Aid on it instead of getting to the root of the problem. You throw a Band-Aid on it, keep it pushing. Your temporary problem can become a permanent problem. Your small problem can grow into an even bigger problem. Your small problem can become a permanent risk. Okay? And putting things off later, it will always cost you more. Okay? You might pay a little bit, you might pay a lot, but you're going to pay something. Okay? So that we can fix it later, get to the root of it right away. Because the longer you wait, it'll become a bigger problem. Okay? All right. Now, we talked about the 4 myths. We said if the paperwork is compliant, we're fine. We know that's a myth. Your implementation has to be compliant as well. You got to implement what's in that paperwork, what's in those IEPs. Strong teachers will figure it out. No, you don't just leave people to their vices and let them figure it out. No, you give them the training and the support that they require. Special education is a place, not a service. It is a service. It is not a place. The service follows the student, not the room. We can fix this later. No. Your small problem becomes a permanent risk later on. Get to the root, stop operating reactively, and be proactive. All right? Now we talked about the 4 myths, which are 4 problems. How can we fix this? And first of all, before we talk about how we can fix it, let me tell you why following these 4 myths will cost you so much money. Because 1, you'll be paying out in compensatory services because you're not implementing what's in that IEP. So now you got services in that IEP. So now you got to pay back for all the time you didn't provide the service. So you got to do compensatory services. You have staff turnover and rehiring. Your teachers are getting burned out because there's so much on them, but they don't know what to do because you're just letting them go. You're assuming they know. You're not giving them training. You're not giving them the coaching. Then you have a lot of staff turnover and all this rehiring, so no one is really staying. You're not retaining anybody. Your one strong person got fed up and burned out and left. All of the SPED knowledge and everything about the SPED system left with them. Legal consultations and complaints will cost you thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. And then you have so much time lost with crisis management. Okay? Myths don't cost energy. They can cost your school's budget. They will cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. That's money you could have put into training your teachers, coaching your teachers, getting progress monitoring programs for your teachers to use to make progress monitoring not so overwhelming. And so that way you can clearly see your data and track your data to help you make data-driven decisions about your students so you can see if they are progressing or not. Okay? Now, instead of being reactive and instead of being reactive and operating in desperation, we need to be proactive. You have to be proactive. How do you go about doing that? 1, get clarity on what it is you need to be focused on. I keep saying this. What are the non-negotiable things that you must do or must have? And look at what is true about your school and your team versus what you're assuming. Okay? Get clarity on that. Now, your systems need to be written out. Okay? You need to have your processes written out. Or hey, it can be on OneDrive, it can be on Google Drive, where everyone has access to it. It should not live in the head of one person at your school or on the computer of one person at your school. No. You need to have your clear processes on case management, progress monitoring, how you're going to collect data, how you're going to write IEPs, how you're going to have your IEP meetings, when you're going to hold your IEP meetings. What is the process when a student a student with an IEP transfers? What is the process when a student with an IEP transfers from out of state? You need to have all of those processes documented, and everyone needs to follow them. Follow the protocols. What do we do when it's time to get ready to do a IEP? What do we do when it's time to do a reevaluation? What do we do when it's time to do an initial evaluation? What is the processes? What are the processes that we must follow? They should be written out. Everyone should have access to them and follow them. This is how you can build the confidence in your team and strengthen your team, because you're not relying on one person. Everything is not living in the head of one strong person on your team. No, everybody has access to it, and everybody is becoming, I'll say, stronger in their practice because you're being consistent with these processes. And it's not just, oh, let me go ask Miss Bashir. Miss Bashir, what do we do with this? Miss Bashir, what do we do with that? What do we do? What do we do? And you won't have this person over here doing that, this person over here. Okay? So that's your organization. Have your processes documented. Okay? Where everyone can have access to it. All right. So that's the organization. Review. Monitor your implementation, not just the documentation. So monitor when services are getting implemented, related service providers are implementing the services. Your teachers are implementing the minutes, the amount of service minutes that the student's supposed to have. Monitor it. Just go and observe, see how it's doing, so that way you can catch, hey, if there's any areas of improvement where things need to be, where you need to tighten up some things, you can do it because you've observed it. You're reviewing it, and do this regularly. You can do this quarterly. You can do this quarterly. This helps you to strengthen your systems and see what's really working and what's not. And last but not least, your execution, training with your follow through. Okay? Don't just do the training, have the follow through. Follow up with your teachers, with your team. Follow up with them to make sure, hey, they understand what they have to do, that they are implementing the strategies that they were taught. Like, make sure the follow through is there. That's why you have the execution. It's not rocket science on how to fix these problems and address these problems that are occurring. Okay, you don't have to keep going on with these same SPED myths in these charter schools. No, you can put forth these steps that I just gave you, so that way you can start operating more proactively as a SPED leader in your charter school. All right. Now, if you're realizing, hey, you know what, these myths, they hit too close to home. You're talking about me. You can schedule a call with the IEP coach so we can get on a call and explore how we can support your school. I'm going to drop the link right now. Schedule your call. Get on our calendar. Get on our calendar and book a call with us. Hey, if you feel like I'm talking to you, I am talking to you. You want to make a change? Book a call with us. Schedule a call with us. We can have a conversation about how we can support your school, how it can look like in your school. Don't be scared. Book a call. All right? Schedule your call. So, listen, if you do recognize, hey, these myths, special education is a place, you can fix things later. Strong teachers will figure it out, and if the paperwork is compliant, then we're fine. Hey, you feel like that? Listen, this is fixable. You got to want to fix it though. When you're ready, schedule a call with us so we can support you with that. I'm going to drop the link again. I'm going to open it up for Q&A now. Who has questions? Who has questions? Who has questions? You have a question about our topic? You have a special education question? You can put it in the comments now. I want to remind you all about our free webinar that is taking place February the 26th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The 3 biggest IEP meeting mistakes and how to fix them. It is absolutely free. I'm going to drop the link again. Who has questions? It can be about our topic, which was SPED myths costing charter schools time and money. Or if you have a question, a special education question, feel free to type your question. Let's see who has questions. All right, let's see. I'm going to give you a moment to type your questions. I know sometimes it takes you a minute. All right, any questions? All right, I don't see any questions. All right, if the questions come to you later, please don't hesitate to send us a DM. We are very responsive and we'll get back to you. All right, so we're going to get ready to head on out. Please remember, be kind to yourself. Remember your capacity. You're not trying to push past capacity, because when you do, that's when burnout occurs, and that's not what we want. We will see you all next week. Have a safe evening. Peace.